Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Jiayanu, Pakhairagale, Ni hao, Chunashume, Washwale, Ohio, Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifahal, Hale Shumachatore, Ahlan Wasalan, Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracias, Swabiab, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTB World and are watching World this morning alongside the one and the only Shazad Khan, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody out there is perfectly fine and are doing great. It's a fine Wednesday morning over here in Islamabad. The weather's getting a little chilly, which is why, yeah, you can see that we are actually onto sweatshirts. And I believe that, it makes you feel great as well. But other than that, for all of those people who are regular viewers of World this morning, you know that usually me and Shiza, we wear, casual clothes when we actually have to do something with music or something other than music as well, for example, films, or when we think that, okay, we can probably pull a rock star look. That's when we do it. So I'm just giving you guys a hint what we're actually going to do today. But other than that, there's a very interesting story I actually want to get started with. So ever since I was growing up, I was always told that, that black cats are not actually good, even if they cross right in front of you, you should actually change your path. And, there were quite a lot of superstitions about black cats as well. But hey, this is 2019, and yeah, so there's a lot of development on that fact as well, because they say that even our purry pets can actually develop diseases like cancers and HIV and Alzheimer's and whatnot. But now scientists actually say that this black fur actually helps them because this black fur has the same gene as humans, which actually protect us from HIV. So yeah, so for all of those big cats who've actually got black fur, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about if they're going to cross or they are a witch in a cat form and whatnot. So yeah, we really need to. This is a myth busted. So please make sure that next time it does not really happen to you. Even if a black cat crosses the way, go straight. It's not a problem. It's just their natural thing that they're never ever going to fall sick because of the fact that the same fur actually has a gene which is going to protect them as well. So this is one thing. But I don't know why, even till date, whenever a black cat actually crosses right in front of me, I just do not feel all right. I'm like, okay, now something bad is going to happen. Other than that, I think what we need to do is that we actually need to have firm belief in Allah Almighty as well, and not to think about things like this as well. And not just these things. I know that within Pakistani community, we have a lot of issues. There are a lot of people where they say that, evil eye is actually going to get you, and things like that. So I think that to have a very sober and a decent life, you really need to be up and beyond these superstitions. Make sure that you have firm faith and you firm belief in Allah Almighty as well and in your Creator. And for everybody who's out there, it's time to rise and shine, wake and bake, get up and be more focused about what you want to do in life. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by some amazing youngsters, and they're a source of inspiration because almost 2 days ago, I was actually invited by my university, which is Air University, to actually host the show over there, which was my offer in the first place because it was my university. So I saw them playing over there. I've seen them on television. They are the rock stars. They are the names for today as well. And ladies and gentlemen, they're doing a phenomenal job with their music, the way they're interacting with the crowd, the way the lead vocalist is actually making his own game and the band's game. I think that it's wonderful to witness. And music is life for me, ladies and gentlemen. I started my career as a video jockey for a music channel, so I know how much hard work goes into making and forming a band and then running it. It's a hard work, and it's a man's job who is actually into hard work as well. So which is why they're over here in the studios. But before I introduce them to you, I'm actually going to share one of their audios and video with you as well, which is with the name of Asaman. So please go ahead, take a listen to Asaman, and when you guys will come back, we'll actually introduce, yeah, I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to give it away. So here it is, Asman, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this, Wednesday morning. Good morning.
आसमां में जल है
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I think that we've given it away, even though that you weren't able to see any of the person playing guitar or singing. But ladies and gentlemen, they are the runners-up of the recent Battle of the Bands as well, which took place over here in Pakistan. They did very amazingly well as well. And yeah, they're on top of their world as well because of the fact that Arish is a household name in music now, ladies and gentlemen. We are very lucky that we have been joined by Arish the band, and with me, ladies and gentlemen, in the first place, I've been joined by a vocalist. He's none other than Mr. Nosharwan Mahmood. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Allah ka shukr.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, he had to come
here.
all the way from DHA today early in the morning, and just for the show, he didn't actually sleep all night. So thank you very much. We respect that. Wow, wonderful to have you over here. Alongside Nosharwan, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Nihal Azhar, who's actually on keyboards. Hi, Nihal. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. And last but not the least, this gentleman is very cute. He's good looking, and he's one of the oldest members of the band, ladies and gentlemen. He's none other than Mr. Haziq Ali, and he's the guitarist of the band as well. Hi, Haziq. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. So let's get the conversation started. Let us know a little about Arish the band, and then how did you guys get to be together, and then Pepsi Battle of the Bands. I'm sorry that, but still I have to mention because they have done quite a lot for the music industry over here in Pakistan as well.
Indeed.
So who wants to answer first? Whoever. Nosharwan, let's get started with you.
Normally, this question that when was the band formed and how it progressed over time, we usually give that question to Haziq because he's the pioneer of the band.
All right, so let's move to Haziq.
Well, Shahzad bhai, honestly speaking, we started this band as we were just friends, and we just wanted to do music just for the love of it.
Okay.
And we, all of us, excluding him, he's the youngest in the band.
Yeah.
But he joined in later. But then again, we were all friends from the same community, from Islamabad.
Yeah.
So we had been doing music on our own. But then me and our bassist Fahad, who's missing over here, we started this band. And then we continued the same thing. Nosharwan joined us because we didn't have a vocalist. We had multiple vocalists and they kept on changing.
All right, and we're talking about 2010, 11,
Yeah,
12?
2010.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
a decade ago, almost.
Yeah, almost a decade
Yeah.
ago. So then Nosharwan joined in, and we continuously worked on. We started working as a band.
Okay.
We started to gel in. We had chemistry.
Yeah.
And that is when Humayun came in.
Okay.
And our drummer, who's also missing right now, but they have to go to the office, so
Yeah.
we have to understand about that as well. Anyways, the first time when we went on Pepsi,
Yeah.
that was Kab tha? When was it?
2017.
2017.
So it was the second season, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
and I still remember that for the rest of the tour I was hosting their shows, and there was this band which won, and they were performing and whatnot, and so what they did was that after 2017 they again went in 2018. So were you guys selected in 2017 or you weren't?
No, we weren't. Actually, we
We didn't even qualify the
Yeah.
auditions.
Okay,
So same happened with us in 2018 when we went
exactly
back.
the same.
Yeah, but there was a small difference that our song got aired in the
Okay.
auditions, so that was a big achievement for us,
Yeah.
and that was something that pushed us to come back again this year, and this year was everything for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
So in 2019, ladies and gentlemen, the world actually got to see and meet Arish the band as well. And to my surprise, I think that they've done wonderfully well as well. And obviously there needs to be one winner only, and this is how world works. But then at the same time, having one winner does not really mean that the other person wasn't really talented, but it means that they had their spot now, and you're going to have your spot in future as well, which is why we are over here promoting music. We're promoting Arish Band, ladies and gentlemen. And before we even ask them any other questions, I'll actually make them sing a song for all our amazing viewers who are out there in 46 different countries. So what are you guys going to share with us?
We will start with Awaz.
Okay.
It's our original that we played in, I think, top 12 round this year. And it's a very special song because this song represents our band, the story of the band,
Okay.
how it came into being,
The
how
struggle
it went
of the
into-
band, basically.
Let's find out then, ladies and gentlemen, the struggle of the band coming your way. Let's find out. Awaz it is.
शोर में चुप हूँ खड़ा मैं, कोई ना मुझे यहाँ अब सुने। भीड़ में थम सा गया मैं, कोई ना मुझे यहाँ अब समझे। छोड़ के आया हूँ वो शहर जहाँ पूछता न था कोई मुझे। ख्वाहिशों की कैद ने सिखाया है जिंदगी में यही कि नामुमकिन नहीं है वो ख्वाब जो देखे थे कभी। आया हूँ दिल जीतने यहाँ, सुन लो मेरी आवाज़।
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the voice by Arish the Band, and wonderfully sung. What a splendid and a beautiful song it is. And you know, while you were singing, what I was thinking was that, you know, this should be my early morning jam, you know, every day when you're coming towards work. This is the type of song and music you actually want to listen to.
Means
and
a
the
lot.
best part, what Noshawan was doing was that I could actually feel the soul of the song, you know, the way he was singing, whoa, namumkin, you know, I was able to grasp every expression you guys had to share with everybody out there. It was a wonderful song, and if it's an original, I'm in love with it instant. Wow, that's great.
Thank you
but
so much.
let me move on to Nehal over here. So Nehal, since you're the youngest, when did you join the band? And was it an open offer, or you actually have to, you know, had to make space for yourself and then get in?
I joined the band like 2-3 years ago, and last year when they were going for the Battle of the Bands, and they asked me, do I want to join them? And I said no, I had my exams, so I skipped Battle of the Bands for my exams last year, and this year again the Battle of the Bands registration opened, and they asked me, what's the scene this time?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do this.
Okay.
I want to do this. Last time I skipped for the exams and didn't
He
happen
actually froze
anything.
a semester.
I
Wow.
froze
Then he
my
went with
semester.
us.
I left
Yeah.
my semester and I went for the Battle of the Bands, and it turned out to be like really, really amazing this year.
Wow, it's great, and you know, it's very similar to my life as well, because when I was participating in such an event back in 2008 and 9, it was my 6th semester for BBA in Air University, and I actually had to freeze it and then go to Karachi, you know, do the entire competition, then come back. But you know, unfortunately, what I did was that I kind of didn't go back after the first semester, you know, which I froze. So what I did was that I went back to my university after a year's time, and they said, okay, you were supposed to come back after 6 months. Where were you? I was like, okay, we'll figure that out. My degree cannot go to waste. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, there's something more interesting as well, that today it is more than 140 years for the Post Union. We are actually celebrating and observing their anniversary as well. So a rich tribute to Pakistan Post, because now it's the era of internet, it's the era of technology, but back then I think it was only Pakistan Post which were reaching out to people. So we have a small package to share. Go ahead, take a listen. When you guys will come back, we'll ask them some more interesting questions. Why don't bands stick together for a longer period of time? Let's do this.
Postal services have helped change how people communicate with one another in drastic ways. However, before the days of the internet, people would have a really hard time getting letters and packages to one another due to international policies regarding mail. World Post Day is here to remind people of how postal services became easier for everyone when countries all over the world finally came to an agreement that would change everything about how mail is processed. Celebrating the anniversary of Universal Postal Union, World Post Day aims at educating people about how postal offices around the world have helped further global communications and make everyone more connected with one another. Whether it's a gift purchased online, a letter, or a postcard, sending mail is a great way to celebrate this day. Read up about what the Universal Postal Union is all about and share the information with your friends.
World Post Day it is, ladies and gentlemen, and alongside that, there's a reason why I'm wearing this shirt as well. And so if you can zoom in, I don't know whether if you can zoom in or not, but it says happiness is a state of mind. And I wanted everybody to listen to this and kind of take a good read, because of the fact that I've learned this in my life the hard way, that you are actually responsible for your own actions in the first place. And then whatever happens to you or your life, it's your responsibility, not anybody else's. You cannot burden anybody else with that. So make sure that you always stay in a state of mind, which is happiness, and you're going to feel great about it. But other than that, since it's Post Day, so I'm going to ask Arish the band whether they have written letters to somebody very special or important or not. Because when I was in school, I still remember that my teachers actually made me write a letter to my parents and, post it, and then stamps and whatnot. And there were kids who were actually very crazy about collecting stamps and whatnot. But love letters, are the core essence of any musician, or probably emotions such as love, hate, things like these are actually very close to musician and artist as well. So what about you? Have you actually ever written a letter when there were no phones, when there were no nothing? You wrote a letter to somebody, and how did you give it to her? Things like that.
As far as I remember, it was never a love letter. Mostly it was Eid Mubarak cards, stuff
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Who did you send it? Who did you send those cards to?
Okay, that's something we can talk about. But when I was growing up, I think the email kind of thing was in, so
Yeah.
I used to use that
Emails,
most of the
Orchid,
time. Yeah.
MSN.
Okay, well, that's great. And okay, so I'm going to come back to you, but let me ask Nehal. So Nehal, what about you? Have you written a love letter to anybody? And to your knowledge, it never actually made it to that person. Did that happen to you ever in life?
Actually, this one thing happened. When I was growing up, letters were not that much common.
Yeah.
So there used to be these messenger kind of things,
Yeah.
online messengers. So
MSN.
MSN,
Yes.
Orchid. No, I think he's too young for Orchid or MSN.
MSN.
No, I
think,
was there with MSN. and
because
Yahoo
he's
Messenger.
actually saying that type of messenger. I thought the only obsolete messenger was MSN or MIRC.
Yeah.
These were the only two things. So which messenger are you talking about?
These
Yahoo.
MSN and Yahoo messengers, right? So these were in that time, and there used to be this landline connection, right?
Yeah.
So,
Dial-up network.
Yeah.
The dial-up network. You could answer the phone, or you could use the internet. One thing, yeah. So it took me like 2 weeks to find out their account, and
Who's
finally.
there?
These are things which you shouldn't be asking. Okay.
You never
Go
told
ahead.
us
Go
this,
ahead.
no?
Yeah.
This is wrong.
It took me 2 weeks to find out their account, and when I actually was about to send the text,
Yeah.
so someone actually rang on the phone, and it didn't send, and I thought it sent.
Yeah.
So I waited like 3 days. After 3 days, I said no response, and I was so heartbroken about it.
So wow, these are the things, ladies and gentlemen, which do happen. Okay, so let's forget about 2009, 10, and 11 and 12, and let's forget about letters. But now, if we talk about Arish the band, this is one of those bands from Pakistan which have actually claimed a lot of fame for themselves, all over the world. So now the situation's changed. Now probably they're looking for your handles. Probably they're looking for your Instagram accounts as well.
A lot of things happening right
So
now.
how do you respond to all of that? Because I believe that you're one of the cutest band members too as well. So how do you respond to that? Even though that Noshirwan is the vocalist, I know that he gets the maximum attention.
Maximum potential, yeah.
Yeah, but still, everybody else gets the leftovers as well. So what about you?
Well, I don't know. Well, you obviously you have people around you who kind of approach you.
Yeah.
But I kind of check which account is the best to actually reply back to.
Let me add up something here. Whenever I get attention, he asks me to divert that attention towards him. Yeah.
No. It's always like this. Whenever we're backstage and somebody's making our BTS or something like this, and if it's me solo giving a BTS or Humayun, someone, he's the only one who's going to pop up in between. We're never going to pop up between his BTS, but he doesn't want to share the
I
limelight.
try to color other things.
Well, that's great. It's great. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how backstage life is. So there's no worry about it as well. But other than that, what happens is that usually whenever you are in love, one way or the other, you feel as if the other person has actually cheated on you. I mean, not cheated. So cheated means she actually told you that I'm going to a restaurant, but she went out with somebody else. So you're very heartbroken. At the bar, jo hai, wo uth jata hai. Did that ever happen to you, anybody?
Kind of, yes, man.
Kind of. He's been
not
ditched.
kind
Yeah,
of.
it's alright. What about you? No?
As a musician, you have to say this, that music comes when the heart is broken.
Oh, rock star. What about you, Nihal?
Never.
Never? Oh, that's great. Oh, no, but have you ever been in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay, so
Acha.
that's great. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, I've actually requested Arish the band to share with us a cover. And At the Bar Bhi Aayi Jayega. It's a wonderful and it's a beautiful song, and it's been sung by a beautiful soul as well. So can we please have it?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do this. For all of those people who've actually been ditched in their lives, this is for you.
And there's a small surprise in this song.
Okay.
This is a mashup actually.
Okay.
And we will not tell the other song. Let the people
All right,
know.
let's do this. I'm excited.
क्या हुआ अगर जिंदगी जरा उलट सी गई सोचो तो जरा जंगलों में भी रास्ते तो हैं हमें भी कोई मिल ही जाएगा चलो तो सही चलो तो सही मेरा प्यार तुम ही हो तुम ही तो हो जाना मेरे साथ तुम ही तो हो धूप में खड़ा जल रहा हूँ मैं साया दो मुझे ये मेरा जुनून ये मेरी जलन है मेरी सजा मेरी ये सकन कह रही है क्या सुनो तो सही सुनो तो सही एतबार भी
what happened to the surprise?
The surprise was there.
It was
Actually,
wonderfully
yeah,
sung, though. You know,
words
let me
that
say that the style that you guys have opted to cover this song was very unique. I've never ever heard this version of Etebar Bhi Aayi Jayega from anybody, ladies and gentlemen, so far. So you've done it wonderfully, very well as
You know,
well.
it's the third version we made of this song
Yeah.
actually. Matlab, we last year,
taking it as a band,
Yeah.
Etebar is like one of the favorite cult
favorite.
songs that we can actually
Or
cover.
any band.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah.
indeed, no doubt.
So that's how it is. But now, I'm very sorry, but I'm actually going to ask you a few hard questions.
Sure.
And so,
You should say no hard feelings.
no hard feelings, but a little hard question. So what I'm going to ask you is that this competition you were a part of, legendary musicians were actually
Yeah.
judging the same contest. So we had strings, we had Misha Shafi, I believe, then we had Atif
Fawad
Aslam,
Khan.
then we have Shahi
Fawad
Sayyid,
Khan. Yeah,
then we have
Shahi
Fawad
Hassan.
Khan.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you is, so if you are to actually rank them on the basis of how good of singers they are, who is on number one? Let's get started.
Yeah, Hazek.
And you're actually you're going to be responsible for the way you answer in the first place, and you are actually answering on behalf of your band. So even if Humayun Mir is not here, Fahd Sikandar is not here, Ali Suhail is not here, even it's their call as well. So please go ahead. As Arish the band, who do you think tops the list for you, and who do you think is at the bottom? Let's go. Number one. Who do you think is number one?
Okay, let me, yeah, okay. I think, first of all, in music, there is no competition, but still,
Yeah.
if you want to rank them, I would rank them on the basis of the contribution they have made to the music.
Yeah, that's
Or-
fine.
yeah.
If you want to be on the safer
Do you-
side,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Do you
Great.
want us to rank them as a band or just as individual singers?
As individual singers, but Strings is always going to be ranked as a band, so there's no way. And Strings is definitely one of my favorite bands, so you cannot rank them on number 2 anyways.
I think looking at the past, 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
these 3 or 4 musicians, they have worked together and worked separately, and the way Strings has contributed to music industry, I think they are number one.
So
top
number
the list.
1 is Strings. Number 2 now. Nihal, come on, number 2.
Me growing up, I saw this one band named EP,
Yeah,
and
Fawad and
Fawad
Ahmed Ali
bhai.
Bar and all of
Yeah.
these people.
so they were like
So number 2 you'll be
number
with
2
Fawad.
with Fawad.
Okay. What about you, Haziq? Number 3.
Well, I personally am a fan of Misha Shafi. I've
Yeah.
been following her since she was in Overload.
Yeah.
Pichal Peri unka ek gana
Yeah,
tha.
yeah.
Then there were other songs as well.
Humayun as well, all of these
So
people.
yeah,
So Misha Shafi.
Yes.
Okay, number 4 then. Who's left?
I think
Shahi Sayyid is a great musician though, you cannot say.
indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. If you rank them on other basis,
Yeah.
as a producer, maybe
Yeah.
Shahi Hassan is not like
Yeah.
on the top.
yeah, he might top the list.
Yeah.
Shahi Hassan
Okay.
might top the list because
He's
he's
one of the best producers.
oldest people
Exactly.
working in the music industry.
Exactly. And who are we leaving out? Are we leaving out somebody? Is there anybody
With
left?
this season, I think these are the only people.
Okay. Did Atif Aslam
Atif Aslam was in the last season,
Okay.
and if you want to include him, then he tops the list.
Yeah, he tops the list. And there's no doubt. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why I was actually talking about Strings, because Strings has actually made sure that they have stayed together for more than 3 decades. And it is a very important thing for everybody out there who are actually initiating with their musical journey, that it is very imperative for the band to stick together. Now, Junoon actually got back, but Junoon got back in a way that, we have actually missed out on two decades that we weren't actually able to see Junoon performing, while they actually had the capacity to inspire millions of people all over the globe. Even other than that, Ali Azmat is a phenomenal singer and a human being himself. But I think that, they should have always stayed together. Now, this is something which I'm going to put right in front of you. Every now and then, there are different situations. Band members are getting married. Somebody's got a job to attend to. Somebody's got money to earn to. How do you guys plan to stick together? Are you guys, are we going to see the same Arish Band 30 years down the line, same people, same faces, Nihal making the same, giving this same smiles as well? Is that how it's going to be, or it's going to change over time?
I think it all depends on every individual being, serious about what he wants to do
Yeah.
in his life. If someone doesn't want to pursue music and he has other goals in mind, then
Yeah.
it's okay. There are no regrets.
Yeah.
Even if this band breaks up any time in future, we will have no regrets. The main thing that is important is this friendship.
Yeah.
It should carry on.
Exactly.
it shouldn't be.
Let's see what
you know,
Nihal
yeah.
has to say. Yeah,
The band is like a brotherhood. It's like a family.
yeah.
So
That's what everybody says when they make a band.
Yeah.
I mean, we have examples from Call Band as well. You know, Zulfi and Junaid were very close as well, and they were, you know, they actually had the potential of becoming the topmost band over here in Pakistan if they would have stayed together because their live performances were crazy and full of energy. But then eventually, yeah, you know, they broke up and then they're back together as well. But how are you going to do that?
usually bands in a band, so it depends on priorities,
Yeah.
right? So if everyone's priority is music, the band is not gonna break.
Okay.
Unless, of course, obviously there are a group of people. Everybody has a different mind.
Yeah.
So somebody over the time the mind has changed.
Somebody's got to get hit.
You know, there is a very important line we always say in our jams and whenever we meet. It's like, in the end, it's all about priorities.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's true.
So it's a priority. Yeah, but you know, one way or the other, you know, there is a friend who can actually be in an emergency.
Indeed.
Things like that. But for the rest of the band members who are actually together, they'll be like, you know, यार देखा है तूने ये हमेशा फहद जो है ना ऐसे ही करता है यार हमेशा.
यार ये शहजाद भाई मुझे एक बात बताया आपने फहद का नाम क्यों लिया?
You know, this is something which I kind of realized when I was in Air University, and you know, this is what we were talking about. But it's wonderful. What's the kind of music that you guys want to do in coming future? Because the dynamics of music are changing.
Yeah.
You know, people like you know, the rap's coming up as well, and people like electro music as well,
Electronic, yeah.
even within the songs with lyrics. So, what kind of music should we be expecting, or all of your fans should be expecting from you guys?
I think we were never limited to any kind of genre. We started with ambient rock, and if you look at the song, the with Awaz, it's a kind of a funk song. So we are, you know, we have let our mind been
We
open.
basically just, you know, we just experiment different things and defining our sound. What so far we have discovered, it's a very post-ambient rock sound.
Okay.
So you can add different flavors to it.
But
you
we
can
are
always
looking forward towards, you know, adding electronic sounds to our
electronic
music
sounds too,
because
yeah.
it's a new thing
They're
out
the new
there.
vibe.
Yeah.
You have to incorporate them.
All right. Well, that's great. And ladies and gentlemen, wherever there's fire, I think there's music. But there's a reason why I've actually mentioned fire. We have a small package about fire extinguishers. Please go ahead, take a look, and you guys will come back. We're actually going to make them sing one last song, and then we'll wrap up the show. Let's do this.
Fire Prevention Day exists both to raise awareness of practices that can help prevent these disasters and to recognize the work of the firefighters who relieve them. It is also used to commemorate particularly famous and devastating fires in individual communities, such as the Great Chicago Fire in North America. During the celebration, people congratulate firefighters and promote various fire prevention and fire safety material. There are some ways to stay safe from fire. Make and practice your home escape plan. Plan around your abilities. Have 2 ways out of every room. Make sure everyone in your family knows when your meeting place is. Prevent fires from happening by looking around your home. Identify potential hazards and fix them. Make sure your smoke alarms are less than 10 years old and are working. Make sure your carbon monoxide alarms are less than 7 years old and are also working. Cooking is the leading cause of house fires. Keep your stove clear of clutter. Stay in the kitchen when cooking, and if a pan catches fire, put a lid on it to smother the flame.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a small initiative by PTP World as well, where we actually want to make people aware that how dangerous things can be, and it's always good to be on the safer side. It's always good to keep an eye out as well. And since it's our responsibility and we are doing it, so there's just one more thing which I wanted to say, that a lot of government buildings have these fire extinguisher buttons and whatnot, but they do not work. And you know, we actually said it in the report as well, that you know, you should actually have those sensors which are 10 years older. I think that all of these devices we have within our own buildings are 25 or 50 years older or more than that, and they do not work. No matter what happens, even if you are on fire, nothing's going to work. So for all those people who are out there, I think that, you know, today is the day that we remind you that each and every one's, all of our people, you know, who are going to work, who are coming back, wherever they are working, their lives are important for their loved ones as well. So please make sure that you kind of put in a lot of effort. And I think that these should be the new building codes as well, where people are going to take all the precautionary measures. And yeah, I think that we really need to do that. I'm sorry if I was very blunt and honest about it, but that's how it is, because I believe my life is important. I'm not one of those people who are actually going to rely on other people. I said it, I mean it, and it's your responsibility. If you're out there listening, I think that it's about time you get back to work. Yeah, but very quickly, before we wrap up the show, what are we expecting in future from Arish the band? And yeah, relatively, you have a larger band. You're six people, 7 people almost.
Almost half of
Yeah.
the cricket team is there.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So what are we expecting in near future?
We are working on our album, our debut album. Hopefully, it will be out by summer next year.
Okay.
And recently, we have completed the shoot of our music video, Awaz.
Wow.
So yeah, it's in the loop.
Well, that's great. Nihal, what about you? What are you looking forward to? Getting married?
Not really.
Finding someone.
Yeah, because back then your message was not delivered. Because back in those days we never had those 2 ticks turning blue,
Yeah.
so that you would know that the person read the message or not.
Exactly.
So what are we expecting from you?
The band is first priority is the band.
Yeah.
And secondly, I want to complete my degree
Yeah.
in first basis. And
Shazad
after
bhai,
that,
can I
I'm
get
not.
a tape of what he just said? He's the only one missing the jam.
I missed one jam because I had a class. at
Yeah,
that time.
obviously, so you gotta give him a little bit of space as well. But what about you, Hazik? What are you looking forward to?
Well, honestly,
International tours?
yeah, why not? If we get an opportunity,
You will?
strive for more concerts, more shows,
Yeah.
and what we have as a mission for us is that within the next year or 2, we need to do an international tour.
Inshallah. And I think that you'll actually be doing an international show before this year actually finishes. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying it because they're on my show. I'm saying it because they deserve to be on the show in the first place, and the kind of music they're doing is phenomenal. The kind the way Noshirwan actually dealt with the audience out there, I was very impressed that that these guys are actually going to make it a lot bigger than where they are right now. And I think I'm actually going to thank all of those platforms who are actually helping these emerging talented musicians as well. So you guys are doing a great job. Pepsi Battle of the Bands, this is a shout out for you as well. And for all of those people who are actually helping them, who are actually becoming a part of this bandwagon. So ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up, I'm obviously going to say all my goodbyes. But you're actually going to sing a song once I've done saying my goodbyes. So for all those people who are out there, please make sure that you check out Arish the Band's music videos and their music as well. It's available everywhere. All you have to do is check out for the Battle of the Band Season 4. You'll get to see all their music. And the
Follow us
song...
on Instagram and follow
Facebook,
us on
yeah.
Facebook, Snapchat,
Follow them, ladies and gentlemen. And what's your Instagram address?
It's
Band.Arish.
band.arish.
Band.Arish. What's on Facebook?
It's
the same.
Arish.
Arish.
It's the same.
Arish, Band.Arish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Twitter?
Twitter is also the same. Snapchat is also
Band.Arish. Oh, they got lucky because of the fact that it's a band's name. If it was an individual's name, I don't think that it would have worked. But ladies and gentlemen, do write to us as well, which is with the name of Wall This Morning. On Twitter, it's Wall This Morning without a G. On Dailymotion and YouTube, it's Wall This Morning. The fabulous repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Look after yourselves and make sure if you have people who are very talented, make sure to write to us and we'll call them on our show. So take it away, Arish.
मैं भी
दुनिया हमें अब जो कहे, दुनिया की रस्मों को तोड़ तोड़ चले, राहें हमें अब जो कहे, राहों की बाहों को जोड़ जोड़ चले। जब से मिला हमें प्यार तेरा, चेहरा हसीन लगे बार बार तेरा, हो तुझे दिल में बसाएंगे, करना पड़े